about this gospel reading. On this day, 32 years ago, my life changed. Cardinal Manning died on this day 32 years ago, and that radically changed my life. I had come to Holy Family because he wanted to come to Holy Family, so I thought maybe my destiny is something else. So I took 9 months off shortly afterwards and went to live in the third world, in India mostly, Bangladesh, a little bit Nepal. And I was deliriously happy, and I said, oh, this is my destiny. I'm meant to live in the third world. I was very, very happy there. Well, it didn't work out. But it does say that I want to touch the Cardinal Manning, the person of Cardinal Manning, for a moment in relation to this gospel. He was a gentle soul, a very simple, down-to-earth pastor, bishop. He had no sense of being elevated or being authority-minded. I remember on one occasion when we were in Rome, on our many trips to Rome, we were together at the Basilica of St. Mary Major, dressed in our black suits, our clerical. And this elderly priest, I was young, I was 34, 35 years old. And this elderly priest came up to us and he looked at the cardinal, not knowing he was a cardinal because he didn't carry any signs. He wasn't that kind of a person. He said, Father, I want you to do me a favor. This elderly Irish priest said. Cardinal Manning said yes, and he said, I'd like you to hear my confession. Well, about that time, the formula, the words the priest used in confession had been changed. Now, I had a chance to hear confessions, but the cardinal hadn't a chance. So, remembering that, he said to the elderly priest, Monsignor here will hear your confession. And this elderly priest looked down at me, and said, I don't want any Monsignor. I want a plain priest. That's why I asked you. And the cardinal, okay. So the cardinal heard his confession. But he was a plain priest. And that's the thing that most people remember about him. Just a few of you knew him. He was just a man of utter simplicity. No airs and graces, no high sense of authority or office. That's not always true of bishops, as you know. But this was a humble man. And when you come to this gospel reading today, he says, beware of false prophets. The false prophets are the ones that somehow take life out of you. The true prophet gives you life, is compassionate and caring and understanding after the likeness of Jesus Christ. That's a true prophet. The exercise of law and authority will change behavior, but it will not cause conversion. Conversion is something in the heart, and conversion comes from love and kindness and caring and understanding and compassion. That's what occasions conversion. The law might change behavior, but it will not occasion conversion. That's what this gospel is about. And in many ways, that's what Cardinal Manning was about. He was a man that occasioned conversion through his utter kindness and simplicity, rather than an authority figure exercising and demanding a legal response. You might keep that in mind, because sometimes we get caught in the present age with the exercise of law and regulation and canonical process, and that gives us a result, but it does not cause conversion. And what Jesus is speaking is the true prophets will touch our hearts, will touch something inside of us, and through kindness and caring and forgiveness and so forth, people are called close to the Lord. The false prophets, and he's speaking in some ways about the Pharisees here, they're false prophets. They're legalistic, demanding, overwhelming, They're people who divide one from another, exclude people, whereas the true prophet will touch your heart. The true prophet will meet you in your crisis and will belong to you and will understand you. The true prophet will carry your pain, will struggle with you, will be patient and understand. That's the true prophet. That's Jesus Christ. And the minister is meant to reflect the power and the presence of Jesus Christ. It's not the power of the law. It's the power of love. I'd keep that in mind, since in some way each and every one of us is called to be a true prophet. And finally, in biblical language, the prophet is not meant to tell the future. Years and years ago, studying Scripture, we learned the prophet is sent per modum actus, not per modum habitus, which means he's sent for the moment, not habitus, not habitually, not forever. You're not a prophet forever. You're a prophet for the moment. And therefore, the prophet is not meant to tell the future. The prophet is meant to give you insight into what's happening today. Elijah, the prophet, was not sent to deal with the future. He was sent to speak about conversion today. So the true prophet, after the likeness of Jesus Christ, is the one who understands us today, touches us, welcomes us, blesses us, forgives us. That's the true prophet. And the way you measure the true prophet is the one who gives you life. The false prophet, the one who diminishes you, who divides and discourages you and is over-demanding. You want to keep that in mind, because in some way each and every one of us is called to be prophetic, to be kind, caring, and understanding. We'll fail for sure because we're human, but we know the essential call to be a disciple of Jesus Christ is to be a true prophet. Pause with me now for a moment of prayer.